Rochester's Michelle Ashley wants to change the way we see and understand those dealing with mental illness, addiction, and homelessness. The photographer uses her camera to document social issues with the hope of bringing social acceptance to people she says are often ignored and judged by society. The self-described activist with the camera joins me now to share more. And Michelle, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
So you are a longtime hairstylist and an owner of a hair salon in Brockport. And so how does an entrepreneur in the beauty field decide to pick up a camera and shoot these raw, gritty images of individuals, oftentimes in less than beautiful conditions? How did it happen?
So I guess it started, I was a single mom, my kids' whole life, so I have 2 children. And once they grew up and moved out of the house, I sort of felt like I lost purpose. And I'm not the type of person to sit on the couch. I knew that I had to do something. I felt like there was more for me, and it just took off from there. I started volunteering at different shelters, just trying to find where my heart really ached when I went places. And it tended to be with the homeless, mentally ill, childhood poverty, that type of situation.
There's a cool story that you've told me in the past about your father, how you didn't think you had this artistic gift. And then your father saw some of your photographs from years ago and said to you, you've got it.
Right. Yeah, so my dad came to stay with me. I hadn't seen him in 20 years. And he stayed with me for 10 days, and I grew up knowing he was this incredible artist, and I was always jealous, and I couldn't understand. I looked like him, but I had zero talent like my father. And when he stayed with me, he painted and sketched and was drawing the whole time. And you know, I'd said to him, I wish I had that talent. And he said, you're a hairdresser, you do. And I was like, but people wash their hair and it's gone. Like, you paint something and it's there forever. So the day he was leaving, he was walking around my house, and I had pictures hanging up that I had taken in Haiti, and he said, who did these? And I was like, I did. And he was like, you do have it. Yeah. You do. And I literally was like, wow. And he was like, now what are you going to do about it? And that's where it started. That's how it all started.
We feature artist Richmond Futch Jr. and an exhibit that he did on, and he told me he used your photographs for this exhibit called Out of the Shadows, and it was all about giving our homeless population a voice and to make sure that they were seen. And I want to know, when you get behind the lens, what are you looking for, and what is it that enables you to get these shots that people connect with? There's something that you're able to capture in the eyes of a human being, and people can just connect with them. And do you even know how you do it? I mean, it's incredible.
I don't. It's a good question, because I really don't. Sometimes I feel like people know who I am now, and they actually ask me to take their photo, but I feel it. I don't see it. So I feel people, and I really, I just will walk by someone and something will turn me around, and we start a conversation. But most of the time, to be quite honest, people know who I am now, and they want their story to be told, or they want their photo to be taken. They ask me to send their photo to family members. I've had people pull me aside literally and tell me their whole story and give me an address. Can you send this picture to my mom so that my mom knows I'm still here? And it really is, it's really hard for me to pinpoint and explain, because it just happens. It really just happens for me.
You said people know you and ask you to take their photos. What did it take for you to build that trust? Because you're photographing some people in very vulnerable situations, and in situations where they may not want a photograph taken, but you've been able to make that connection. What is it that you've been able to do that really enables you to get those images and show this part of our society that you have said sometimes people ignore?
I think that because I'm willing to meet them exactly where they are today, generally I never start my conversation like you and I would have on the street, like, where do you work? What do you do? That's not something you're going to say to the people, my subjects. So I usually start it off like, who are you? Tell me who you are. Tell me where you are today. Explain to me what's happening today. And so many times people are willing to bring it right back to the beginning so that I will understand what happened, how they ended up where they are, but they know that I'm not there to exploit them, that they also, I'm willing to share my story. You know, I have a background with this as well. So once they hear my story, they know that I'm not there for any other reason than to tell somebody's story.
And what part of your story do they connect with?
So I had a brother who was mentally ill. He was a veteran. He was in the Air Force, and when he was about 20 years old, his schizophrenia started to really rear its ugly head, and he was discharged and was missing for about 27 years. And we found out he had passed away, and nobody was notified. So I knew then I needed to put a face and a name to people that were on the streets.
Well, the work you do is absolutely beautiful, and we're going to close for now, but I want to thank you, Michelle, Ashley, for what you're doing in our community. And you can learn more about Michelle and her work. Just go to michelleashley.com.